Be prepared. What you are going to witness is one of the year's most unique and stunning events. However, if you're not careful, it might lead you into a hurricane you're not prepared for. Not everyone's smiles are designed to last till your next ascension. Right now, 6 planets are aligned in the sky. However, the true influence is not limited to space. It's there in your life, influencing you and others around you. We've been assured that our so-called safe circle, which includes family, friends, and partners, will always support us. And although it is not entirely incorrect, there is something more going on right now. This energy creates motion inside those closest to you. That is why distance is required between you and those closest to you. In a minute, you'll understand why. But first, if you think that's scary, wait till you understand it's only the beginning of what the planets are about to do today. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are all locking into place. When 60 giants move together, the Earth moves. The pressure increases. It does not just bend the sky, it bends the people beneath it. This alignment prevents anything from hiding. Weak ties feel strained. Hidden emotions come to the surface. Every relationship in your life is tested to the maximum, and fractures begin to appear. Some will hold, others will break apart. And if you want to know what happens when those fractures eventually open, stay listening. The planets can affect you even if you don't believe in them. Similarly, you do not need to believe in gravity to fall to the Earth. Today's 6-planet alignment is more than just an abstract concept in the sky. It's a force that is crushing down on everyone who is living today. You don't need to be spiritual. You do not need to believe in astrology. You don't even have to care about the universe. None of this matters because, whether you realize it or not, this alignment is already in action and is manifesting in your body, mind, and relationships. The fact is that most folks will wake up today feeling weird. Some will be unable to describe it. Perhaps it's a sudden onset of annoyance. Perhaps it's this peculiar heaviness, like a weight on your chest. Others may experience an emotional tempest that erupts unexpectedly over little details. They'll blame the weather, a lack of sleep, or the pressures of daily life. But the timing is not coincidental. This is why ignoring it does not exempt anybody from it. Skeptics will refute it with words while their bodies silently acknowledge the reality. And if you are observant, you will notice it happening all around you in real time. What's happening is not subtle. It's clear. But here's the catch. It doesn't affect everyone equally. This alignment represents a dividing line, and not everyone is on the same side of it. For those who have done the inner work, confronted their scars, and burnt away the illusions, it sharpens vision, clears fog, and provides direction with the accuracy of a compass pointing north. These folks will feel energized, even empowered, as if the road is now evident where it was before buried. However, for those who have avoided their shadows, those who have buried their wrath, envy, or insecurity and never dealt with it, today is a firestorm. It's like lighting a match in a sealed box, and the entire thing threatens to blow up the planets, probing at those wounds and bringing them to the surface whether people want it or not. This is the risky phase. When the pressure rises, it needs a somewhere to go. That is where you come in. The more light you bring, the more the unhealed self will notice. You address them. Your presence makes me feel exposed. It reminds them of everything they haven't experienced. And the simplest way for them to find relief is to project outwards. To confess you comprehend this. Not all attacks are personal. Sometimes it's only misery searching for the nearest target. That is why remoteness now is not considered betrayal. It provides protection. It's not a weakness. It is spiritual self-defense. Because when the sky pushes down like this, it is not your responsibility to bear the weight of someone else's unhealed wounds. It's your responsibility to make sure you're not the one they dump on. Jupiter does not just show truth. It intensifies it to the point that you can't look away. Jupiter is currently in this conjunction, lighting up the stage of your life. Nothing in the darkness is secure. This is not gentle. Jupiter's energy is brutal, ruthless, and straightforward. It takes whatever is concealed and makes it bigger than life. Whether it's your accomplishments or another person's hidden envy, you'll notice it in even the tiniest conversations. Perhaps you communicate wonderful news, but instead of celebrating, there is quiet. Maybe someone changes the subject when you talk about your progress, as if they can't tolerate the attention on you. Perhaps it's even subtler. An acquaintance who used to check in regularly suddenly withdraws or changes their tone. When you say things are going well, this is Jupiter in action. It reveals what was always there, but now it's difficult to ignore. The reality is not everyone around you is rooting for you. Some people are clapping their hands as their spirits are on fire, and Jupiter will not let them hide. The larger you get, the brighter the spotlight, the more uncomfortable it becomes. The ones that secretly despise your progress, their masks slip without their knowledge. Their emotions reflect their reality. Pay attention. People's reactions to your light show the darkness they still live in. But don't consider this as punishment. Jupiter is not here to harm you. It is here to show you. It distinguishes genuine support from phony grins, true allies versus silent saboteurs. It's providing you such a sharp perspective that you can no longer be deceived by appearances. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Venus does not lie. Your heart knows the truth, even if your intellect attempts to reject it. Venus is not gentle or amorous during this alignment. It is piercing. It is cutting through delusions. In one place, individuals dislike being exposed. Love, connection, and commitment to the chosen ones. This energy resembles emotional X-ray vision. You suddenly realize who values you for your essence and who is merely interested in what they can get out of you. Your emotions may feel unpredictable, crying one moment and oddly disconnected the next. However, this is not instability. It's calibration. Your heart is filtering frequencies in real time, determining who may stay close and who must be released. And since it is Venus, the procedure is both gentle and cruel. The others, those who haven't been living authentically today, are exposing themselves, providing bogus support and conditional love. Everything unravels. Some will become extremely clingy, wanting to hold onto a version of you that no longer exists. Others will be manipulative, attempting to guilt you, shame you, or force you back into emotional roles you have outgrown. The main indicator to look for is obvious. People who used to make you feel important now deplete you. That change is Venus exposing the truth. Genuine love energizes you. When it's untrue, it drains you. This is why Venus is known as the heart activator. It is not here to make you comfy. It has come to set you free. And today, the risk of rejecting your heart's instincts is higher than ever. You are not overly sensitive. You are no longer numb. That's the difference right now, with the weight of 6 planets pulling in one direction. Your whole system, neurological system, emotional field, and inner compass are all lighting up in ways you can't turn off. And that might be perceived as sensitivity. But what it truly means is awareness. Think about it. The things you use to ignore, the red flags, and the energy drains you use to justify, they no longer slide by you. You capture them right away. Someone's tone changes ever so little, and your body knows before your brain does. You enter a room, and rather than fitting in, you sense it. If the energy is heavy, it drags against your chest. If someone makes you queasy, realize that it isn't because the world has suddenly become darker or people have become worse. You've changed. You aren't vibrating as much as you previously did. That implies repeating the same behaviors, using the same phrases, and making the same justifications. They no longer slip under your radar. When your consciousness evolves, the same old patterns begin to resemble poison. And that's why you feel the need for space. Not because you're chilly or because you dislike the people around you, but because your body and spirit are detoxing. Seclusion may be therapeutic. Silence becomes clarity. You are not running away. You are recalibrating. Meanwhile, the individuals around you are not on the same frequency shift as you. Nothing has changed. They continue to speak and act in the same manner and play the same games. But you find it unpleasant. What previously appeared innocuous now feels oppressive. What once seemed like love now feels like a leash. And that is the problem of this alignment. Realizing that you are the shifting variable and they are the constant. You have been rewired. You're awake in a room where others are still sleeping and the sound of their dreams is louder than ever. This explains why you seek isolation rather than stimulus. It's not about solitude. It is clarity. It is not rejection. It is self-preservation. You aren't being remote. You are detoxifying from frequencies that no longer correspond to the person you have become. And the more you respect that adjustment, the more you'll realize distance isn't a loss. It provides protection. Because when your awareness sharpens like this, being around the incorrect vibe is more than simply uncomfortable. It is risky. 7 does not punish. It exposes who is truly prepared and who is only faking. When 6 planets align, Saturn becomes more than simply another chess piece. It becomes the hand that moves the pieces. Saturn is the gatekeeper. Yes, but it is also the enforcer. Today, it is not asking for a negotiation. It demands the truth for the selected ones. Saturn's energy is not an abstract karmic test. It is a real-time encounter with oneself. The deadlines you've been neglecting are the habits you've been putting off, and 7 places them right in front of you with no way out. You may feel exhausted, as if the weight of everything you've been avoiding has suddenly fallen on your shoulders all at once. Alternatively, you may feel as if you were prepared for some situations. Relationships, duties, and commitments are abruptly questioned, demolished, or postponed. This is not punishment. Saturn does not impede the passage. It determines whether you build a proper road or merely painted one on the dirt. And for those who have done the work, confronted their weaknesses, honed their discipline, and chosen honesty above comfort, Saturn's tests yield a reward not in the shape of an outward trophy, but in unwavering clarity. A clear path, a foundation so strong that no storm, treachery, or distraction can take it away. However, some have been resisting feigning or coasting. Saturn appears ruthless. It seems like closing doors, unexpected losses, and time sliding away too quickly to catch. It appears as disputes that disclose flaws in relationships, professions that disintegrate when they appeared to be stable, or health problems. That force changes. You have been putting off. Power moments, breakdowns, breakups, not as punishment, but as demolition. Saturn will burn down the house you are living in if it was not constructed on truth. Here's the common reality. Saturn does not play favorites, whether selected, misaligned, or lost. Saturn is unconcerned with the titles you claim, the masks you wear, or the phrases you use. It measures integrity. It measures the truth. And if there is anything in your life where you have been lying to yourself, Saturn will reveal it today. For some, Such realization will feel like liberation. The shackles eventually crack and the fog clears. Others will experience collapse as their illusions crumble. In any case, Saturn is imposing the same law. No falsehood can withstand this alignment, which is why today is both perilous and heavenly. Saturn is a reminder that you cannot carry lies into the future. You cannot climb with dead weight, and the longer you attempt to carry something that isn't real, the heavier it gets. Today, Saturn ensures that you feel it. Those who have not matured will perceive your progress as arrogance. This six-planet conjunction amplifies reality, which is rarely comforting. Right now, the way you move, talk, and choose to remain silent. It will upset those who have been accustomed to your previous practices. Those who were comfortable with your former personality will be unsettled, not because you're doing something bad, but because you're no longer accessible to play the role they wrote for you. You'll notice it in subtle ways at first. People who formerly enjoyed hearing from you are now complaining. You've become distant pals who used to contact you for guidance, but now accuse you of being selfish since you don't drop everything for them. Family members may even claim you've changed, as if it were an indictment rather than a compliment. But here's the fact. When Mercury and Venus are aligned, individuals who want to maintain the same may see growth as betrayal. Misunderstandings are not accidental. These are disclosures. They indicate who truly loves your presence and who merely wants what they can get from you. And when you get insight, you will experience the sting of being mislabeled, haughty, aloof, cold, and possibly even cruel. However, these are not reflections of you. They are reflections of their unresolved attachment to a version of yourself that no longer exists. Consider it this way. When a butterfly emerges, the caterpillars can no longer identify with it. They perceive the wings as weird, superfluous, and even dangerous. However, the butterfly does not owe them an explanation. It simply flies. The same thing applies here. You do not require to explain your shift. Just shift. Silence will be your most powerful instrument during this travel. Silence comes from strength rather than fear. Walking away, keeping silent, setting tight boundaries. These are not indicative of weakness. This is a sign of sovereignty. If people react with rage or uncertainty, it is not because you have lost your identity. It's because you have finally discovered yourself, and they have no idea how to manage it. This alignment is intended to differentiate what is true from what is convenient. And the more you change, the less handy you become to those who derive comfort from your obedience. Allow them to misinterpret. Allow them to project. Allow them to call you whatever they need to cope with their own discomfort. Because, honestly, you are not here to be understood. You are here to be aligned. Alignment never explains itself. It simply is. Every breakthrough is followed by aftershocks. What you experience following this alignment is not weakness. It is integration. As the six-planet alignment loosens its grasp, August 20th to 22nd will not feel like immediate relief. In reality, for many of you, here is when the true challenge begins. The alignment itself is a pressure point, sharp, intense, and unmistakable. However, once it dissolves the body, the mind and soul are left to pick up the fragments. This is what I call an energy hangover. Don't be shocked if you wake up on these days feeling disoriented, as if you've lost track of time or lost your motivation. You may feel raw, too sensitive, or burdened by feelings you can't quite identify. Some people will feel like sobbing for no reason. Others will experience weird numbness, as if nothing touches them. Then there are others who will experience both abrupt sadness and sudden emptiness. It isn't anarchy, it's decompression. Consider it like this. If the alignment was a storm, then the next 3 days will be silent. The winds have stopped following the storm. The lightning has passed, but the earth remains damp. The air is thick. Everything that has been rocked must be restored to its proper order. Your system is reintegrating. 6 planetary forces merging in the sky have rewired your neurological system, and your physical body is now attempting to catch up with the spiritual leap you have accomplished. And here's the bizarre contradiction. This weight is not punishment. It is purification. The weight you feel does not represent the return of the old. It is the process of cleaning out the old. You aren't falling backward. You are releasing residue. Imagine lugging a backpack full of stones for years. When you drop it, your body does not immediately feel lighter. It genuinely hurts because it is remembering what freedom feels like. That's a hangover. From August 20th to 22nd, you may be led to believe that something is amiss with you, but this is not the case. You are merely going through the alignment's echoes. Every headache, every sleepless night, every episode of irritation. This is your field flushing the frequencies you can no longer hold. Then comes the promise. Clarity sets in when you pass through this window. The fog lifts. You look around and see how much brighter your field is. You'll recognize certain triggers, individuals, and cognitive patterns. They no longer have a hold. They used to. This alignment did not just shift the planets in the sky. It altered the chemistry of your body. So, when you feel the burden of these days, remember this. A hangover only means the party was genuine. What you are feeling is evidence of your breakthrough. And when you come out of it, your energy will be cleaner, sharper, and more concentrated than it has been in years. This was not only a cosmic occurrence. That was your reset button. Not everyone around you is inherently poisonous. But today, practically everyone around you is hungry. This alignment does more than merely shift the planets. It arouses people's secret desires. When 6 planets clash in this manner, the air thickens with a current of despair. Some individuals use the current to flourish, while others sink into it. They don't know how to make their own light, so they start relying on someone else's. You may see it today in subtle ways. A loved one suddenly need more reassurance than normal. A buddy repeatedly redirects talks back to their troubles. A co-worker distracts you with unneeded drama. It may appear slight, but with this alignment, modest requests are not random. They are signs of a deeper yearning. Energy parasites are not necessarily harmful. Sometimes they're just folks who have never learned to sit with their own emptiness. However, the alignment transforms that emptiness into a yearning. The planetary stream amplifies what you already are. If you are entire, you will grow. If you are hollow, you will consume. As a result, those closest to you may experience unusually heavy media or become more emotionally unstable. They are unconsciously yearning for energy. They never learn how to grow on their own. This is the risky phase. The closer they are to you, the more easily they can siphon. Strangers cannot enter your inner world, but loved ones, friends, and even relatives. These are the folks who know just which buttons to press, what stories to tell, and what emotional hooks to use on you. And when the 6 planets aligned, the hooks became less intense. You could feel awful about pulling away. You may feel chilly, harsh, or distant. But guilt is precisely what keeps parasites alive. They live off your hesitancy. They thrive on your incapacity to say no. That is why today distance is not an option. It's about survival. Every time you step back, you are not abandoning them. You refuse to forsake yourself. If you've been experiencing unusual weariness after being with specific people, or if you feel spent after even the simplest encounter, here is your confirmation. It is not in your brain. It is the alignment that reveals where your energy leaks are. Those leaks will be insufferable under today's strain. Unfortunately, you cannot satisfy this craving. You could wring your heart out and show every ounce of patience, yet it would still be insufficient since the hunger isn't about you. It is about their refusal to confront the void. Saturn is revealing the longing. Venus highlights the growth. Jupiter is demanding. Until they confront themselves, they'll keep circling, searching for fuel. So, defend yourself. Take a step back. Distance does not imply that you do not care. It indicates you have finally understood. Some folks don't require more of you. They have to meet themselves. And now, letting go is the most powerful act of love you can perform. Distance is not rejection, it is medicine. Right now, the six-planet alignment makes one reality apparent. Separation may not necessarily mean loss. Sometimes it is the only way to heal. The cosmos is unraveling what has been twisted for far too long, not to punish anyone, but to give each soul a chance to finally breathe. Consider how cycles form when you repeatedly show up to heal, calm, or carry people. You may believe you are assisting, but in fact, you are interfering with the lesson that their soul has chosen to learn. This alignment makes the interruption hard to sustain. You'll sense tiredness, restlessness, and a sudden realization that screams, "If I don't step back now, I'll break myself in the process." Love without limitations is not love. It's self-abandonment. And this alignment is erasing any traces of self-abandonment that you've held. When you detach yourself, you do not prevent others from healing. You're establishing the circumstances for healing to finally occur. Imagine someone using your energy as a crutch as long as you keep them up. They never learn to walk. However, if you take a step back, the universe compels them to discover their own legs. That process may feel harsh, but it is holy. Without the crutch, they realize their own strength. Without your energy, they will meet themselves. And as others confront their shadows, you finally rise, free of the burden of bearing what was never yours. Distance now serves as a double dose of medication. It heals you by safeguarding your spirit, and it heals others by restoring theirs. Sometimes the greatest loving deed is to let go. It is letting go with clarity. This is not about being cold or unkind. It is about trust. Trust that the people around you can evolve without your help. Trust that attachments that drain more than they supply will not impede your progress. Trust that the alignment is not separating you from love. It's perfecting the way love flows. Here's the beauty. When you rise, you don't just rise for yourself. The ripple lifts everyone who is connected to you. Your recovery becomes an invitation. Your limits become a reflection. Your liberation demonstrates that freedom is achievable as one's spirit matures. Every soul it touches is granted liberty to develop. That explains why today's alignment feels so severe. It is not breaking ties. Rather, it is rewriting them. It's not the end of connections. It is cleansing them. And if it necessitates distance, then distance is the medication no one wanted, but everyone needed. If you are still watching, I'd want to express my gratitude for your attention. If you loved the article and would want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is much appreciated. Please feel free to share your experiences or views in the comment section below. Until next time, take care and sign up for more interesting articles.